We are here. Hello
Good evening.
and happy Thursday.
Turn up Thursday. Let's go. Pre-Friday. Let's go.
It is pre-Friday. How are things in Atlanta now? Has it is it back? See, I just turned back. Is it back to being hot Atlanta or is it still Atlanta?
It's still Atlanta. It's not back. It's not being hot. Not yet. The snow did melt though, so it did melt. So it was just a 1 day thing, which was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday we got snow. Um, yeah, it was it's high 45. I think by next week it'll be in the 60s. So summer, winter has come and gone. We got 2 weeks of winter. Now we back to spring, heading towards summer again.
I love that for you guys. I absolutely do. We don't have that. I
Oh,
almost I almost slid on a bit of ice today on part of my walk. It's cold. It started snowing a little bit,
oh,
and then it's supposed to snow. I know it's definitely snowing tomorrow. So we're having a great time here. It is wonderful. I'm so happy. I mean, winter's here, and I keep saying the first person that says during the summer, "Oh my God, it's so hot," and punching them directly in the throat. Not even in the mouth, in the throat. I
yeah.
don't want to hear how hot it is. I don't want to hear any of that. Just enjoy the weather. If you're hot, drink some water. I got nothing for you because when I say it is cold here, it is like I don't remember cold like this in years. But
Mhm.
we digress. How has your week been?
There we go. The week is good. Week is good. Tomorrow's Friday, so that's an even plus. 1 day closer to the weekend. Uh, no complaints at all. Really, just been working. Doing the adult thing. You know, you know,
Adulting.
just got to work to pay bills, and have fun, and you know how that goes.
Hmm,
Nothing amazing, just life living. Amen. How about you?
amen. The week has been good. It's definitely been busy. Work has been busy. It's funny because we put out a huge announcement on Friday morning, and it's so interesting in my position that I'm constantly going out to people and brokering deals and having to position why they need to partner with my company. We
Mm,
make this announcement, and all of a sudden, people are now coming to us. So the announcement was that for the first time ever, our show was going to be simulcast on three different networks. So let's assume it's like the States. So it's like ABC, NBC, CBS, right? Like has never happened in the history of our show. And it doesn't happen, right?
right.
If the Grammys are on ABC, that's what they're on, right? Like if the Oscars are on NBC, that's what we're on. But my CEO, through her quick thinking and planning, was able to get these three broadcasters to come to the table and agree to host the show. And now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, how can we be a part of it? And it's just like, y'all are so funny. It is so, I don't mind it. But it's interesting, but they don't realize I'm about to charge them an arm and a leg. But I digress.
Okay, that's some good things right there. Happy
It is
for you.
different. It's a good thing. We are going to be busy. We have been busy. There's just a lot of moving parts. But yeah, it should be. I'm actually this year. I am seriously going to take some behind the scenes. Like every year I say I'm going to do that, and I'm super busy. Not that I'm not going to be super busy this year. But I think if I can do a compilation behind the scene and then really show you guys what I do, because even when my daughter came last year, she was like, "Oh my God, mommy, you're actually really important." I was just thanks, kiddo. Like, thanks for thinking your mommy's important. But yeah, so yeah, that's the week. Other than that, I didn't have to curse anybody off this week. I didn't have to lose my temper. I didn't do any of that. By the
Oh,
grace of God in Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, I had to go back to my meditation. Mr. made a comment, and I saw his comment saying that if, a man was trying to court me, that type of behavior probably wouldn't be appealing, and I don't disagree. Um, but just because I'm upset with one person does not mean it's my personality, but I am working on it. In Jesus' name, again, we pray. Amen.
Mm.
Amen and hallelujah. Anywho, tonight is an interesting conversation. And it was sparked by a post that I saw and commented on. And then there were comments back to my comments. And it's funny because I feel when you're pushing negativity, people are quick these days to applaud you and say, yes, girl, right? Like, that's it, girl. But the moment you try to push positivity, people are coming for your neck. And so, for those of you who are new here, I'll give you a little background. I am the mother of a 24-year-old daughter. She is my only child. I've only wanted to have one child. I had her when I was 21 years old. Unfortunately, my relationship with her father did not work out. But after, years of trial and error, we got to a point where we have a great co-parenting relationship because we both understand that we are in each other's lives forever because we have this child together, no matter what. And there's going to be weddings and there's going to be births of children. And we went through several graduations and birthdays and all of those things. So, for the sake of our daughter, we have made a point, especially when she got to a point that she could understand relationship dynamics, especially between her parents, um, we did our best to make sure that my daughter saw the healthiest co-parenting relationship she could. And what was funny, my daughter and I were talking a couple of days ago, and she recently found out some things about her father and me and her father's relationship that she never knew, like, at all, because I never told her, because that's big people business. And it was a conversation we were having. It was me and her and her grandmother. And my mother's older now, so she just starts talking and she's saying something. And I'm like, okay, mom, leave it there. My mom's like, all right, me leave it there. And then my daughter is like, no, grandma, like, tell me what's going on. And that woman just does what her granddaughter tells her. And so my mother proceeds to tell her what led to the demise of my relationship with her father. She's 23 years old. And so for 23 years, she never knew because it was not her place. I still don't think she should have known, but that's between her and her grandmother. At this point, the train had started. I didn't say anything. Now her father doesn't know that she knows. And she says, one day I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with daddy about it. But she says, Mom, thank you so much for, like, always putting daddy in the best light. And one of the things I told my daughter was, let me be very clear with you. Your father didn't always want me, but he always wanted you. I needed her to understand that. Just because me and your daddy's relationship broke up, it had nothing to do with you, right? That was a separate thing. And I think there's a lot of times women associate a man not wanting them with not wanting the child and not wanting to be a father to that child, but we are separate entities. And I always say the longest relationship I've had is with my daughter's father. It does not mean we were intimate. We haven't been intimate since she was 1.5 years old, but it is still a relationship because we are her parents. And for her sake, so that she sees the best example, so that if there is any situation where she gets married and then divorced, she has an example of how to have a good co-parenting relationship, because I had that example with my parents, how to have a good co-parenting relationship. So I set all of that up so you guys will know when we go into this, where I'm coming from. And I mean, twins, if you want to tell your story for people who don't know, so when we're having this conversation, they have some base.
I sure can. I sure can. So, I'm recently divorced. Was married for 14 years. Um, so to add to the topic, I actually have a good working relationship with the mother of my kids, or I could say my ex-wife.
Hmm.
Not baby mama, ex-wife.
That part.
Yeah, there's levels to this. You know what I mean? No shade nobody, but it is what it is. She's my ex-wife. Now, how long she'll keep that ex-wife title, I don't know. But right now, she's the ex-wife. regardless how anybody feel. But with that being said, though, but I do have a good relationship with her. I mean, even recently, my kids had my daughter. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter had her birthday, which is in July, because she's a summer baby, and it was at her house. And I went to the house. I actually got on the grill. I was cooking the food while she was getting the house and stuff together. And then even when everything was all done, she even made me a plate. Some people had something to say. Some people didn't have something to say. But like, what you want? I said, you know what I want, girl. You know me. You know what I like. So anyway, but some people maybe in their feelings. But at the end of the day, it wasn't about me and her. It's about our kids and having a good time and seeing mom and dad be there together to celebrate a birthday.
Hmm.
So yes,
All of that.
oh,
All facts. All
uh,
of that. So we set that up because I want to really have this discussion. And if you are co-parenting, are in a situation where you don't have kids or considering having kids, we just want to talk about the setup for the best relationship you can have for the sake of your children. And so the question on the table tonight is co-parenting for life, or is it over at 18? And this came from a post on a Instagram called Eight at the Table. And there was a story that was stated, and I responded to this comment in their story. And I am actually going to read my comment and then a bunch of comments after. Now, granted, I haven't read all the comments. I responded to one person because when you respond to something, you're like, I have time today. Well, I had like an hour that day. And I said, I have time. I'm going to scroll. I responded back, but I haven't read any of the comments since then because I ain't got no time. So a lot of this is going to be new to me. So let me set up the scenario. I'm going to pause and read my response, and then I'm going to read the responses after that. And I want to know what you guys think. Okay, so here's the scenario. Man leaves girlfriend at home to shovel his baby mother's driveway. Girlfriend calls it weird. So here is the story. I hate when I can't press it down. Give me a second. Here we go. Um, a recent post shared by It's On Site sparked a real conversation about co-parenting boundaries and responsibility. A father showed up to help his child's mother when she was snowed in, only for his girlfriend to call it weird. So where do we draw the line question mark? Is this crossing boundaries, or is it simply a man understanding his duty when kids are involved question mark? In a new era of relationship and blended families, co-parenting isn't always clean or comfortable. The real question is, when your child's mother needs help, do boundaries come first, or does responsibility? So this is what the article is saying, but I'm going to read you the actual scenario that happened. So this is the father. So apparently being a father is weird now, question mark. I'm currently at my baby mama's house because her car got snowed in and was stuck in the driveway. She had no one else to call and had to be at work in the morning. My girlfriend told me not to go, said it was weird that I'm still the one my ex calls and someone else should have handled it. I ignored that and went anyways because when it comes to my kids, I don't debate, I move. I shoveled, salted, got the car free. Before I read my comment, what are your thoughts about this scenario?
as a father that I am as well, uh, I kind of stand with the guy. Main reason is because he's doing it because his kids is involved. He's not doing it for her. That's the key point out of it. So you have to take out the situation that it's his ex girlfriend or maybe mama, whatever you want to call it. You got to remove that situation. Yeah, she's a part of that, but my kids are there. So if she can't get out, the kids can get to school. The kids can get to a doctor's visit. The kids can whatever he got going on. If she can't do nothing, now my kids are impacted. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. He did what he's supposed to do. Salute to him as well. And I'll land my plane right there.
So this was my response. It's not weird at all. When you have a child with someone, you're connected to them for life. Hence why you should choose wisely who you have children with. My daughter is 24 and I moved a year and a half ago, and her father is the one who helped me move. I don't care how long we haven't been together, I house his child. If you find this weird, that means that you have an unhealthy relationship with someone you gave the highest honor you can give someone, and that's weird. Um, so this is where the backlash came. Now, the comment got 159 likes and then a bunch of comments. So we'll start with the first one. But why can't you hire movers or get another man in your life to help? Question mark. That's what us child-free women do, and your daughter is a grown adult. So I responded to this person and said, thank God I did not have a child with you. Clearly, we still have a good enough relationship that he does not mind helping me. Like if he needs something in his life, I do not mind helping him. So then this person responds, but on the flip side, do you see how some women use it as control? Question mark. That just because it's a BD, he should be available at all times, and that just shouldn't be the case outside of doing for his kids? Question mark. When you're in a relationship, do you call your BD as much? And then I respond to that. I said, I can absolutely see how some women might use it as leverage. However, it's important to have a good relationship with the person you have a child with because it's healthy for the child or children to witness that kind of relationship. And to answer your question, yes, my daughter's father is involved in helping me even when I'm in a relationship because it takes a village. It's important to model healthy co-parenting relationships for your children. That's the example she'll carry into her own marriage if for any reason that marriage were to ever break apart. So I'm just going to pause there because that was as far as I got with back and forth with anybody. I want you to respond. If people are watching, I'd love to hear their thoughts. And then I'm going to read some of the other comments because apparently there was some arguments underneath my comment. So your thoughts about that?
Well, first thing I would like to say, this could be a dating tip, a pre-date tip early. Fellas and ladies, if you have kids of your own, you would need to set the expectation from the beginning that at the end of the day, my kids come first. Now, not to say I'm gonna choose them over you with certain things, but with something when it comes to safety, um, I want to be called first. I don't want to be called after the fact and whatever. Call me if I'm available, right? So set that boundaries. And I set a boundary now in my current relationship saying, like, listen, I understand X, Y, Z, but my kids come first. I'm still a father first. At the,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, you can go ahead and leave. Guess what? I'm still be a father. I can go ahead and marry someone else. I'm still going to be a father. It doesn't matter
That
what
part.
the situation going to be. I'm still going to be a
Still
father.
gonna be a father, and she's still gonna be their mother.
Right. It's still their mother regardless. So we have to come to a resolution that this is what it is. I'm not going to say that 2 o'clock in the morning she come, I'm going to run over there. No, we're going to set some boundaries. We'll be adults. But let's think about this scenario right here. It is wintertime. They're snowed in. I'm sure if she had somebody else to call, she probably would have called that guy first. Maybe she did call the guy first, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be there in a couple hours," or blah blah blah. Or maybe they're not that type of serious. Maybe they're not that serious to where she wants to bring them around her house, around her kids, right? Like
That part.
you don't know the
Thank you.
dynamics of everything yet, right? But of course, if she calls the dad and he's available, I'm gonna go do it. Now, of course, I want to make sure it's safe too. I don't want to leave the house and I'm jacked up now because if she can't get out the house, how's she gonna help me out, right? So, of course, it has to be a scenario where it's safe. But yes, I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's more about being mature. And the lady said, "Well, he call you whenever." No, see, now we're being childish. Now we're moving the goalposts, right? It doesn't matter the case me. If you can trust me and understand the man that I am to my kids, there shouldn't be a problem. See, the problem out here, there's a lot of women out there who have kids with so many dudes and are they already have kids when you're dating them, and then you get pregnant by them. But my question I ask you is like, well, how was he before with his kids before you got pregnant by him? Did you take him out? Did he bring him over? Was he spending time with him all the time? No. So you made a bad decision by giving your stuff away to. Anyway, let me stay on topic. Let me stay on topic. I'm sorry, I'm about to go off the deep edge. But the point I'm trying to say, the moral of the story is, we both have to be mature adults here. You have to understand what's important, the safety of the kids. Of course, if she was talking to another guy, I would expect him to be there first, right? But if he can't make it X, Y, Z, I'm definitely gonna go there and save my kids. Simple as that. This is not a debate. If a zombie apocalypse happen right now, I got my house here, my lady, and with the X, Y, Z, I'm gonna do everything I can to get to my
Go
kids.
get your kids.
It has nothing to do with her. I'm gonna be out there masked up, gunned up, butcher, whatever I need to do to make it through the wood to get to my kids. Because I'm their Superman. So
That
if you
part.
understand that, maybe me and you shouldn't. This ain't gonna work out. But I'll stop for now.
And one thing I want to add, when we talk about safety, it's not just physical safety, it's emotional safety, it's mental safety, it's spiritual safety. Like, people are having children like they are souvenirs to have with every failed relationship, instead of having children thoughtfully and saying, if I have a child with this person, I am connected with them for life. And is this someone I want to be connected with for life? And then taking precautions to ensure that doesn't happen. The moment I had a child, I understood that me and her father were connected forever, because my parents were connected to me through the day my daddy passed away. My mom was at his funeral. They haven't been together in 40 something years. But do you think my sisters from another mother flew my mom from Canada to the States to attend my father's funeral, because they understood the relevance of my mother, because she's my mother. Do you understand? Connect. And I was 42, 43 years old when my father died. Like, connected forever. And it is important, because that is why I can have healthy relationships, because I saw healthy relationships, and my father taught me healthy relationship skills, as I want my daughter's father to teach that to her, right? Those are important. That toxicity, that's why my daughter isn't flinging her pum pum on OnlyFans. That's why she isn't running around with drug dealers with their pants down with 3 or 4 different children's mother at 24 years old. She's not into any of that, because she knows me and her father, okay, would drape her up for that. That's not behavior. We've never modeled that type of behavior. And modeling behavior is important, but I digress. So now here is the back and forth that has happened. And I'm going to be interested, because again, I haven't read these, reading it for the first time. So here's some back and forth. So one person said, my Instagram name, they at me, they said, same. I have a 22 and a 19-year-old. And if I truly needed it, my ex would be there for me, and vice versa. Okay? Because that's important. Because that's what people do. Another person at me and said, that part, exclamation. Then one person at another person who had commented has said, I really think it depends on the situation. My ex helps me, I help him. My fiance helps his ex, and she helps him. My ex also helps out my fiance's ex, and she helps him out. We all sit together at games. If we're there early, I will go grab coffee with my ex's fiance. None of us have any interest in being with the other person. We all just help each other out, because it's about the kids and not the adults. And we all know that we all trust each other, and there is no jealousy, because again, it's about the kids. And we are all very happy with how we choose to live our lives. Our 2 kids both have 6 parental figures who would do anything for them. And you know that the kids are happy, healthy, and believe in love, friendship, and trust. With that being said, if I didn't have a good co-parent relationship with my ex, and my partner didn't have a good one with his, it would make a situation like ours impossible. So we just consider ourselves blessed.
Amen.
And I love this, but realistically, this should be the norm. There should be no animosity, because how does that impact the kids? At the center of all of this, we need to remove egos and everything else. It's about the kids. What is best for the kids? What kind of behavior do you want to model for your children? Because the one thing we will know is children model our behavior. And I have to tell you about modeling behavior. The worst thing I hate seeing is single mothers of boys who are standing, and they're dressed their boys like them, and the boys are, I hate seeing that thing. I hate seeing all of it. You've seen it on the Instagram when these moms dress their boys just like them, and the boys start modeling behavior, right? Like girls model behaviors of their mothers, they model behavior. Children just model behavior. And so the question is, do you want them to model healthy behaviors or unhealthy behaviors? We're going to leave that question there. Let me continue. Another person says, I will add that not all broken homes are broken. We are all still family. We just live in different houses. That part. Um, and then a young man responded, and he said, and he at me, he said, exactly, grown women talking. My ex and I have moved on, but the center is our children. And these birds saying it weird need some real upbringing. It's not weird or control. A child is involved. I would be more upset if she'd be stuck begging a stranger than calling me. Honestly, this young generation is done if this is the mindset. Yes, young man. Another person at me and said, exactly. They just be giving it out and having kids with anyone. If the mother is good, the kids will be good. And sometimes, as a father, you make sure of that. Pause there. Any comments about those?
Nope. Nothing wrong with those.
Okay. So, okay, this is where it starts, I guess, going off the rail. Child, these BMs, I guess baby mamas, need to be realistic. They are exes that had a baby.
Oh,
I'm back. I'm back.
okay.
I lost you for a second. Let me start over because this one is making me laugh. Let me start over. She said, child, these baby mamas need to be realistic. They are exes that had a baby. They aren't special, are owed nothing but for the father to provide and care for the child. The ones who think the title means something like you need to grow up.
Somebody's big man. She's big man. Whoever said that. More likely, that person doesn't have a healthy relationship with their father, their kids, or vice versa. That's all that is. And then she's just projecting her insecurities to everyone else.
That part. That
I mean,
part. Like it's the rest of our problem.
right now, granted, we understand it's not an absolute. We're not speaking in absolute. We're just saying that it would be highly favored and the benefit of the kids, which we keep saying throughout the show, that the mom and dad get along regardless because the kids is the basis. Now we're going to have some people who's going to abuse it. We're going to have some women abuse it, some guys abuse it, or the guy still want the woman, the woman's with the man. We understand that happens. That's still,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic. We're speaking to the mature crowd out there. We're speaking to the men and women out there who is able to separate their feelings, because at this point, this is a feeling topic right here, to be what is factual and what needs to be done. That's it. I mean, this is we're not saying we're not the end all be all, right? We're still learning through the whole process. But
That
one
part.
thing we can say is that with Sasiba and Nah, we are kids first, or adult in her case, but I got kids.
It's just still my baby.
Baby, you know what I mean? We always are babies. That there shouldn't, as we understand relationships can go up and down, they can break up. But at the end of the day, the kid is the basis, and you should be able to be cordial and still be able to take care of each other with boundaries, right? You know, what I'm saying
Correct.
maybe we should talk about boundaries very shortly here coming up with.
And we are. It's funny because as you're saying boundaries, I also want to add tips for good co-parenting. So when I finish reading the comments, first we're going to talk about boundaries and then we're going to talk about tips for really good co-parenting relationship. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me go back to some of those because this is interesting. So another person at me and said, at I am Toshiba. So if you want to know my Instagram, other than this, it's I am Toshiba B. So I'll just say that she said, exactly. My parents have been divorced for 27 years and still help each other, not because they have to, but because they want to. Another person at me and said, yes, girl, I agree 100% with you. My ex son's father is married, but I'll call my ex to help me. Helps. We live close together. It's called being adults and secure in your marriage and life to realize everyone really can get along. We even all eat dinners together. It's not weird. It's being grown and loving the children that are involved. I wouldn't put all my pride I would put all my pride to the side for my son. So always say my mom and dad and stepmom were always there for me, right? That is true. It's about the child. The child knows he's got all of these people that love him. Now here comes someone who doesn't like it. She asked me, it's just boundaries, which we're going to talk about. Why is that X the one person you call? There could be way other people or hire somebody. It's just being an independent woman in this world. Yeah, I'm not independent.
Oh, and that's the problem. That's the problem with the generation that we have now. We have too many strong, independent, masculine women. I don't need no man, or I don't need to father my kids to do X, Y, Z. I'll pay someone else. But then you turn around,
Why?
I need some shoes for food and shoes and X, Y, Z.
Why would I pay someone else? And it's funny because people are so one track mind. Just because I said he helped me, I did not say he's the only one who helped me. I just mentioned him because he was relevant to this discussion. And
Exactly.
other people helped me, but he was one of the people who helped me. And if I called him tomorrow and I needed something, he would help me. If he called me and he needed something, I would help him. It is best for our child. I don't care how old she is. It is good for our child. If her parents are not in a good space, it does not help her because one day she's going to give us grandchildren and we should get along. She's going to get married. She has all these things that has to happen. Do you think like when she graduated university, we were sitting on different sides of the room? No. He sat right beside me. My mom was to one side, her godmother was there too. Sat beside me. Why? Because we heard her parents. So when her name was called, woohoo! What was he going to be on the other side and I was going to be on the other side? Ah, yeah. What does that look like? It looks ridiculous for her. You
Totally.
understand what I'm saying? Like it just looks like nonsense, but I digress. But I'm not strong independent. Let me just be clear like that. So someone else says it's called they get along and have a healthy relationship. If you can't handle that, then you are the problem. Wow. And somebody says to somebody else, they at somebody else, wow, you sound like a pick me insecure female. Then they at that person again and said, not everyone's a bitter baby mama. Maybe they split on good terms and remain on good terms for the kids. I would pray you never get involved with a man with kids because you'll probably cause drama. And we're
Mm.
going to hold that one for a second because that is one of the things we absolutely need to talk about. So we're almost at the end. Someone else at me and said 100%. Someone else at me and said, how did his significant other feel about him helping you move? I'm going to answer that question for you. I don't know how she feels. I don't think she feels badly because she knows that we go to dinner every single year. They've been together for like 10 years. We've gone to dinner since she was 16 years old, just the three of us. We go to her events together. The girlfriend also shows up and we sit down all together. When his girlfriend comes to my daughter's events, we sit together. They're not on one side of the room and I'm on the other. He'll be like, hey, I'm on my way. And I'm like, hey, I'm on my way, and hold me a seat, and we'll hold each other a seat. He'll be like, "Hey, she's coming." I'm like, "Cool, great." We see each other, we give each other a hug, we take pictures together, all together. What? First of all, like, why would she feel any way? Like, I don't understand that, but that's just me. And then the last comment is, um, this person says, "That's why you can't have a man. You still need your grown daughter's daddy to do the tiniest thing. No man will put up with that. So get ready to never have a real man or reconciliation with your daughter's father." They meant to say reconcile with my daughter's dad. So no real man, twins, is going to want me because I have a good relationship with the man I gave the highest honor. Let's talk about that. Is that accurate? Is there going to be a real good man who's going to say you have a very cordial relationship with your child's father, and so we can't be together?
See, this is so that would tie into the boundaries conversation, right? Because that will play a role, right? No. Will a woman have a problem with it? No and yes.
Ready?
Yes and no. Because we're territorial, but it's based on how it's done. It's done being respected. Is he coming over between what I'm saying 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You know what I mean, during regular daylight hours XYZ? Am I being notified in advance that he's coming over? Right? Like I should never have to come home and see some dude XYZ, regardless. The kid might whatever it may be. Is just set the boundaries. It's all about communication as adults. That's number one. So yes, she can find a man for that, but the boundaries need to be set. If he's coming over, you call him at 12 o'clock midnight. What are we really doing?
No, that's a problem. That is a problem.
What are we
That
doing?
is, what are we doing? Correct. What are we doing?
What are we
What
doing?
are we? What are we? Because if my phone was even, first of all, my phone's on do not disturb by 11 o'clock. But I digress. But
But
that
that's
is true.
no, the kids are asleep anyway. So if you go to your baby mama or ex-husband or ex-wife, whatever it may be, and it's midnight, we know the kids are asleep.
Facts. Facts. And my daughter's grown enough, and me and my daughter and her father are in a family group chat, right? So if anything needs to be done, my daughter is the one who'll say mom and dad, because sometimes she doesn't want to talk to us separately. She's like, I want to ask you guys the same thing. So she created a family group chat, and she'll come in there when she needs to ask us both something to get an answer quickly from both of us, instead of messaging me or messaging her dad or calling me and then throughway calling her dad or calling her dad and then having me in the background. She just messages both of the time. It's just easier for her. We have done everything we can to make it as convenient for her to be able to communicate with her parents, to get what she wants from her parents, whatever it is, because she is the center of our existence. But I agree to you, it is boundaries. But when I was married and when I was engaged, when there were issues with the child, my child, we all got on the phone. So when I was married, if there's something going on with my daughter, me, my husband, and my daughter's father got on the phone. When I was recently engaged and my daughter, even though she was an adult, there was a crisis happening because I wasn't here, and my daughter had called me explaining the crisis. Then I called her dad, and he was on speaker, and we were all talking. And then my fiance said at the time, let me speak to him man to man. Not that there was even any issues. They just wanted to have their own man conversation. So I gave him the phone. That's that's grown adults. The child has an issue. We as the adults have to come together and fix it. Why does there need to be beef?
That's
It,
the
it,
childish. That's childish.
but because there's a difference between an ex and someone you had a child with. Huge difference. Exes get cut off. I don't speak to my ex-husband. I don't speak to my ex-fiance. I speak to my daughter's father. Why? Because when I had a child with him, that was a lifetime choice. I don't get not to speak to him. I just simply don't. I don't get not to be in the same room with him. I don't get not to share moments with him, because not doing so is not about how it impacts me and him, it's how it impacts the child I chose. Let me just be clear, because having a baby is a choice I chose to have with him. How would you feel if you had to have separate birthday parties for your kids, and you could go to one game and your ex-wife went to the other game, and you guys had schedules so that you never interacted with each other?
Yeah, that wouldn't work out. Like, for example, I mean, keep on now, my son, he's playing soccer. I go to the game and I sit next to the ex-wife and her mom and my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be they over there and I'm over here. Hey, no, we're not doing that. And we're all screaming, "Go Sharp!" No, no, no. I'm right next to him. Sorry. I mean, it's listen. I went through a divorce, and you could kind of say it was a nasty divorce in a sense, whatever. But even I say this, while we were still in the house, was going through the divorce, she moved out, she the kids, and then moved to another house, whatever. That's what I did. I actually helped them move stuff,
Move.
furniture. She had two people, like she had movers, but there's something they couldn't do. So I jumped in and helped out, and boom, 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 boom. Going through consider a nasty situation at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, at the day, my kids are were there, right? And why make a situation already a stressful situation make it worse by arguing, fighting, or I ain't moving shit, how you leaving, whatever, do it. No, that's childish. Nothing resolved comes out of that. And even to this day now, I always do spot checks. Like, hey, how are you? Besides, of course, I'm always asking about my kids. That's
Hmm.
how the kids doing, school, XYZ. But how are you doing? No, 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 like you doing. How you doing mentally, physically, emotionally? Ask those
That
questions.
part.
You know why? Because the how she is, how whatever state she's in, if she's not in a good place, then guess what? My kid's gonna be feeling the wrath of that. Not
That part.
intentionally, but if mom don't feel good, then she ain't want to do nothing. She may not want to cook. She may not whatever case may be. So I'm always checking to see how she's doing, because how she, whatever mood she, not mood. I want to make it like she's crazy and like that. I'm saying that I want to make sure the mother of my kids, my ex-wife, is in a good place. Because if they're in a good place, then guess what? My kid's in a good place. I'll land
Facts.
playing right there.
Let me ask you this. How, when you are evaluating, dating a woman, getting serious with a woman, and she has children, do you inquire about her relationship, her co-parenting relationship with that child or children's father?
Yes, and I do a lot of observation too as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ask some questions, but I see how the interaction. I'll see when he get a child or he picks her up, whatever it may be. I pay attention to all that stuff. And I ask questions, but if I'm gonna move forward with that person, I need to see how she co-parents,
Mm-hmm.
because that matters. And then
Mm-hmm.
if that's a problem, if I'm happen to be around, or you can't be here when he comes. Oh,
Oh,
why not?
oh.
Whatever the case may be. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, and that does happen. It does happen.
Yeah, it does
That's
happen.
not healthy.
But I just didn't know what's wrong. Why not? He's coming for something, right? So he's coming out. Hey, how you doing? Boom, 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 boom. No problem. Yeah, he's XYZ, whatever. But if there's a problem there, then that is enough for me to know. Well, this ain't gonna work out. Because one thing I will not do in any relationship, I will not come between a father and his son, or father and daughter. Because I'm a father myself. That's one thing I won't do. I won't come between that.
That
Right?
part.
Now, if it don't
That
work out,
part.
then guess what? Me, you ain't gonna work out because X, Y, Z. Because at the end of the day, once I'm gone, you're still a mother,
That part. That
right?
part.
He's still the he's,
That part.
he's still the father. You know what I mean? What we talking about? Like, I understand relationships or this, but these are decisions that you made. So you may lay down, made you a bit hard, deal with it. Sorry, you just can't say, "Oh, I was young or dumb," or no, just no. You have a full child. You have a little mini me or whatever. Focus. Take care of your responsibilities. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
All of that. No, and I'm going to go into one of the tips for healthy co-parenting. So there's a gentleman that I am speaking to, and he is divorced with two children. And we were having a conversation because his ex-wife is now in a new relationship, and he's kind of giving me a little bit of background. And this new partner seems to be very involved in what happens with his children, like
Okay.
very involved in, and to the point where he knows some of the stuff that she communicates to him is coming from the new boyfriend.
Okay.
And I said to him, I said, here is where people screw these situations up. And I want to hear your take on this. As a new partner, your job is to support your partner through their parenting, right? You are their support system,
Yeah.
whether that be mentally, emotionally, or physically. Sometimes, and for men, it's also financially. A lot less for women, but for men, financially is also a piece. And so
Facts.
my job is to help you to be the best parent you can be in a situation, understanding that your children have been impacted by this divorce. So if it is that you need me to show up to games for you, whatever it is that you say that you need to do me to do, I am there for you. If it is that, as we grow together, you want me to be a little bit more involved in, what the kids are doing, absolutely, that's what I'm going to do. What my job is not is to interrupt your ability to have a healthy co-parenting relationship with those children's mother. That is not my job. My job is to listen. And to me, my job is to encourage you because, especially when divorces are a little fresh, 2 years, 3 years, the kids might be a little younger. So you need to have a lot more interaction because they're younger, right? When they're a little bit younger, once they get 15, 16, 17, you don't need to interact as much. But I'd say anytime they're about 14, 15 and under, especially 13 and under, the parents are still very much involved and they have to communicate, and that's just how it's got to be.
Right.
Um, and so, what I'm not going to do is be over in my man's ear, like, yeah, babe, say this to her. She don't know, say this to. We're not doing that because it doesn't help the children who we should all be thinking about. Tip number one, if you cannot bring support, love, and guidance to a situation when someone has a child, don't go in that situation. If
Mm.
you're thinking, I'm going to come in here and somehow I am better than, because a lot of us go into situations, especially I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective, I'm better than the ex. I'm better than the ex. When you have children, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what man I get with, it doesn't matter how great I think I am. As long as that woman has his child or children, I'm never better than her. Why? Because she gave him the greatest honor a woman can ever give a man. And it doesn't matter if he gives me his last name, she still gave him the greatest honor. So I am not better than that woman. And we need to stop going in thinking we are somehow better than that woman, because that's when a potential permanent spot becomes temporary.
Mm. How you always say? Message.
Okay? Too many of us are doing that. And my thing is, if my man is not in a good mental state to be able to deal with this situation, which can take a toll, because as you know, being recently divorced yourself, the children are impacted. They went from a certain life and they're now having to deal with, but not having the capacity to understand why the change. The children just know that there was a change, Mom and dad used to live together. Now mom and dad don't live together. Mommy has her house, daddy has his house, and I have to go back and forth between the houses. And all your job as parents is understanding that as much as you create a new normal that still shows them that mom and dad may not live in the same house, but mom and dad are still a unit when it comes to what's best for you guys.
Facts.
And if you have a partner that just wants to degrade that because they want to show up and show out and replace, I am never going to replace a man's ex-wife or mother to his children. That is stupid. Like no one could ever replace respectfully my daughter's father. That's her father. Respectfully, you can be a great man, but you are not him. And for some people that's a hit to the ego, but that's just the reality. I gave this, he's the only man I've ever had a child for. So he has a very high honor. And but if you think you're coming in to compete with him, that's the wrong energy. I'm never coming in to compete with someone's ex-wife, mother to his children. Why am I competing? We're creating our own relationship that has nothing to do with that. But I digress.
That might drop. Might drop.
That is, do you understand? Like, could you imagine a woman coming in and saying, "Oh, the soccer games. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable that you guys sit together. So when we, I want to come to the game with you, and when we go to the game, we're gonna need to sit on the other side." What are you gonna say about that?
Oh, well, you can sit over there, but I'm sitting over. So we're
Is
not.
she even? Is she even going to be invited at this point?
Right. First off, if you give me an ultimatum, it's bad for you already. Because first of all, I don't like ultimatums.
Already,
You don't what?
me either.
Right? I said I'm there to see my kids play, my son play. I'm not there. Granted, yes, I'm gonna sit next to him, communicate, joke X, Y, Z. Sorry, we had 14 years. That's a long time. For friendship, X, Y, Z, jokes, whatever. You can join me. If you can sit on this side, she be on that side. Hey, I'm cool with that. Hey, I'm joking. But anyway,
I'm done with you.
for the pop job makers, if you think you'll come in and say I'm not going to do with something that's done with my kids, you're already in a bad place right now. I promise you, any woman that comes in my life and tries to say, "Oh, you into this," once again, we can have boundaries. We have a conversation about X, Y, Z, but we have to be realistic. And unfortunately, if you haven't seen what a good, healthy co-parent looks like, before you speak on or have this, just watch, take note, apply it, try it. It might work. It might be good for both of y'all. Just saying, try it.
The center of any of these situations needs to always be the question, what is best for the kid or kids, child or children? Take your ego aside, take your hurt aside, take your pride aside. What is best for the children? That is the question you must consistently ask yourself in a co-parenting situation. If we were to do this, is this the best for the children? That's it. It is not about you. It's not about her. It's not about him. It's not about any of that. It's not about the new person in their life, that new beep or that new ninja. It is about the children. And if you get with someone who, to your point, has a toxic relationship, co-parenting, not even a co-parenting relationship, they can't even co-parenting because they're toxic. That is not a person I would bring in my life. That was one thing that was important to me as I was, especially when my daughter was young, and I would ask about situations, and I've been in situations where it hasn't been healthy, and I'm not in those situations anymore because eventually they take a toll on you.
It's stressful.
It's
Stressful.
very stressful.
Pretty stressful because now you're fighting two worlds. You're fighting that you're compromising whatever you have going with your kids for a relationship for somebody who could leave tomorrow, someone who can chill you tomorrow, someone who can break your heart tomorrow, somebody can X, Y, Z. But guess what? Your kids will always be there. See, I set up in here with a relationship, but guess what? They always be here. You can do X, Y, Z, whatever. They will still be my kids, and they'll still love daddy for me, regardless. You can leave the next minute. You wake up one day, I'm not happy no more. You're not exciting. We don't do things no more. X, Y. What? My baby's still there.
Yeah, and another tip is when you're dating and you're dating, because again, we only talk to people who are intentionally dating. When you're dating people with children, listen to how they speak about that children's other parent,
Come on now.
like
Before,
keenly.
before you get them pregnant or before you get married, just listen and pay attention how they talk about their ex. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to jump in there.
No, but again, you're there. You've been there. Listen. Is it always negative? Are they always the problem? Do they always do everything wrong? Is it constant? Do they acknowledge where they could have been better? Do they acknowledge, you know what? That situation, you know what? I went at it a wrong way. I'm gonna apologize to him or her. That wasn't the way it should have been handled because this is not good for the kids. Is it that type of conversation, or is it he's always wrong, he's always wrong, he's always wrong, he's a no good father, she's always wrong, this is why I had to, she's a terrible mother. So I remember on last week I told you guys I listen a lot because I'm taking in, because one day you could be the ex.
Come on now.
They're going to talk that same crap about you, and you didn't give them a child or have a child for them. Do you understand how that's important? You don't have a child for them, but they're talking about the person they had a child with, consistently negative. Now, there's a difference between them explaining the relationship dynamic. There are people who are going to explain, listen, here's the relationship dynamic, especially sometimes when you're freshly divorced or freshly out of a relationship. You're, again, like you said, you've had 14 years together. You've had basically 2-ish years apart. So you've had more years together navigate. You had 7 times more years together navigating this world together. You've got this little time apart. So you are still trying to figure out how to navigate parenting and so forth. And you're not going to have it right, but you're putting in all the work to make sure that, again, for the kids, nothing changes for them as much, right? Other than the fact that mom and dad live in 2 separate homes. So
Come on.
there's that, and understanding how to navigate that. But you should never bring someone in your life who's going to derail all the work that you're doing. Because if my husband is in a situation and he says, babe, the kid's mom, my ex-wife, just called me and she's snowed in, and this is, I'd be like, you know what, babe, let's go together. Let me go over there. You go handle that. I'll go in and chat with her. Make sure everything's good. Call her and find out if we need to pick up anything on the way. Because she might have been trying to go to the grocery store. Do you understand what I'm saying? She might have been realizing that she needed to go get gas because she has a job that is important because she's helping to take care of the kids. So that's the first thing to be like, babe, okay, cool. Let's call her, see, what she was gonna do. Does she have groceries? Do we need to go to the gas station, get a gas canister? So once you get the thing out, she doesn't have to drive. It's good. We put the gas in, make sure that the kids are good. That's what we're talking about. I'm gonna be like, where you going? She gonna be fine. It's not about her. Are the kids gonna be fine when they can't go to school the next day?
Come on now. Now we
And
talking.
they have an absence marked on their record, or she's in a situation where she needed to go to work because she has a vital job, and what's she gonna say? I couldn't show up because my car is stuck. Or she has to spend money now on Ubers, or she had to get, because she doesn't have CAA, she had to go spend money that could have gone to the children to go and spend maybe $100 to have somebody else to go do something, but like that's taking money out of your kid's mouth.
Or even add this in there, or maybe she had to ask a guy or a woman that somebody him or her, not really like dealing with like that level, but because she's in a bind, she got to, hey, how you doing? Can you come over? And now she feel obligated, she got to do something, or he feel obligated, he got to do something, whatever, because she's in a bind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of levels of things behind it. So you have your chance. Call me. I'm gonna come do what I gotta do, and I'm out. Peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see my kids, give them a hug while I'm there, make sure they doing what they're supposed to do, and I'm out. I'm the type of father I love seeing my kids. So she asked me like if they be like, oh, the kids left their Bluetooth or something here, I'm right over. Pull over, drop them off, see them real quick, and I'm out. Like that happened this week. I got my kids this Wednesday, but Tuesday I got a text say, hey, Sean left this and Sanaa left that. I found out, I said, I'll bring it over. I still got off to work. Got off work, got the items, drove up the street because she's literally around the corner from where I live. Saw my kids for a hot second, make sure they're good, give them a hug. Hey, see y'all tomorrow. Boom. Just like that. I wish somebody would have said, where you going? They can wait another day. See, first I'm like, who you talking to? See, remember, like, who you talking to? I'm a grown ass man right now. Okay. I'm gonna go see my kids. I don't care what time it is. Now, granted, I'm gonna be respectful. But at the same time, like, you got me messed up. Like I keep saying, I say it until I turn blue in the face. And I'm black, so it's hard to turn blue. Kids will be here when you're gone.
Facts.
So play with me if you want to. Go ahead.
Facts. As we're wrapping up, one of the things that I have tried to drill into my daughter's head is that the person she chooses to have a child with is one of the most important decisions she will make.
Facts. Totally.
One
There's
of
no
the most important decisions she will make.
and it needs to be. And you have to stick with it. You have to own it. Regardless. Own it. Own
Be-
it.
Because for those people like, you know what, I got pregnant and I don't believe in abortions. Girl, there was 5011 other options before abortion even became something to even think about for you not to have procreated with a man you did not want to be with. And so I want to say to people, please, those of you with children who are at that age where they could make you a grandparent, please sit down with them and let them understand that the person they marry and the person they choose to have a child with, which should be the same people, but if they're not, they are the most important decisions that they will make, because you can be married and not have children and get divorced and never speak again. But who you have a child with, you are bonded with them forever. And so, reading some of these comments under this post made me really sad for the children, because if people can spew this kind of vitriol under a public post, like they got so, just even on my little thing that I said, let's not mention all the other stuff that was being spewed under that post beyond what people said about what I said. But there was some vitriol that was being spewed about the person they chose to have a child with. And I'm thinking, if this is the kind of vitriol you're spewing on a post, like it made you so emotional that you're writing in all caps, okay, under a post on Instagram, what kind of environment are you raising your child or children in? We've got to do better. And so I am going to give right into my dating tip for the evening. If you are not in a position to deal with a person who has a healthy co-parenting relationship with their ex, then leave that person alone. You do not come in and interrupt that relationship, because you will be quickly out of a relationship. Because a person, and so for me, a man that has chosen wisely how he parents and whom he parents with. And just because, like that person said under my post, not every broken home is broken. Just because someone gets divorced or they end their relationship with that other parent doesn't mean it is a broken relationship. And you guys may have broken up, but you don't get to break up with your children. That's just, it's not, breaking up with your children is not an actual thing. And so if a healthy co-parenting relationship is not something that you are accustomed to, whether that's between your parents or the person that you have a child or children with, first of all, I think you need to go to therapy and address that, because you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting your child or children. But secondly, you have to think, why is it that I'm threatened by a healthy co-parenting relationship? That is my dating tip.
Mm. I'm supposed to follow that?
Yes, sir.
Man, damn.
Tell them a divorced co-parent, because you're divorced with kids. I was divorced without kids.
I know, right? And listen, I mean, I just gonna kind of repeat what I said before. You know, my kids will be here when you're gone. So I would say is to the fellas out there, especially fellas, because I'm a fellow. Some fellas, I don't care how bad she is, how good she looks, how wet it is, how good she does X, Y, Z.
Not wet.
Do
Sorry.
do not compromise your kids' mental relationship with their mother,
Mm-hmm.
because when she's gone or when she's messing with somebody else, X, Y, Z, your kids will still be there.
That part.
If you have a healthy relationship with your ex and you're able to go somewhere X, Y, Z with no problems, salute to that. Because I'm happy to say that during my divorce process, within 2 years, my kids wasn't impacted with the breakup. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh,
Mm.
I got two rooms now. I got my mommy's room and my dad's room. They cool, right? So come over here. They can come over whatever they want. So they're good. And when I say that is that their grades didn't drop. They didn't have to go no psychiatrist and my mom, dad broke up. None of that. My kids were good. So I'm blessed to say that transition was perfect.
I love that.
But also too, any woman I'm speaking to, who I'm talking to now or in the future, I will not compromise that. We can have boundary conversation about certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but the first time you think you're gonna tell me what I'm not gonna do when it comes to my kids, just know you have a better chance. It's not gonna be good for you. Respectfully, just respectfully, because I'm gonna say it again. When you're gone, they'll still be there. So you're not gonna mess up what I had with my kids just so because you was in the picture and you want to control X, Y, Z. No, no, not gonna happen. I had a good relationship with my mom and dad. Guess what? My kids will have a good relationship with their mom and of course their daddy, which is me. And I'm done. My job.
Mic drop. And that's the key mess up. And it's not even just about messing up. It's again, you could mess up the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I fundamentally believe that when we bring children into this world, we have one job, is to raise them healthy, strong in mind, body, spirit, and usher them into the world as best as we could. And so the idea that somebody would mess that up is a no. Oh, we have a comment that you can see better than me, twins, because honestly, right about now,
That's
I
it.
can't see shit.
I've been
Thank
divorced.
you.
problem. I've been divorced since 2019. Kids will be 13 next month. We still do family vacations annually and spend holidays together at times. We still family, just set up a different way. Oh, we're family just set up a different way. Amen to
I
that. Amen
love that.
to that. Amen to that. And I'm still in the process of that too. I definitely want to do a family vacation. No, like I say, I'm newly divorced, freshly divorced, so I'm still working towards those things. But I would love to have a family vacation where she have her
And
friend, I got my friend.
exactly. And that's the part. And I love this. Thank you for leaving this comment as we're supposed to jump off. This is so important. And to the point what Twins was saying, every family is going to look different. The family vacation may be you and your new wife and her new husband, but you guys are still family.
Yes,
And again, the kids are the center of that. And to me, if you can't put your pride and ego aside for
yes,
what's best for the kids, you really need to think, should I even be a parent? If what we've talked about tonight, if you are a childless person and what we talked about tonight irritated you to no end, we're like, that could never be me. I could never do that. Please reconsider having children,
there we go.
because as much as I would love to say that you're gonna fall in love and be married forever, we're two divorced people here who got into marriage not necessarily thinking we were gonna get divorced. Twins went
Facts.
into marriage, had his children. He wasn't thinking I don't, and nobody goes into a marriage wanting to be divorced. Let's just be very clear. But like Twins like to say, we don't speak in absolute. Most people don't go into marriages planning their divorce. They
Facts.
don't go into marriages and have children planning to break up their home. But
No,
life happens. So, in the worst case scenario, if you have a child for someone and the thought about having a healthy co parenting relationship irritates you, and you feel as if when it's done, or when the children turn 18, that's it, reconsider having children, because it is a lifetime commitment. Or if you're a person who doesn't want kids but understands that you may end up with someone with kids, especially at our big age, and any type of relationship we've talked about that isn't for you, then I say go find another childless person and go live happy with them. Because the last thing you want to do is end up in a situation, because I've been there, where there is an unhealthy relationship, because I believe it or not, it impacts your relationship. They don't get to be unhealthy over here and be completely healthy in your relationship. It does not work that way.
mm-mm.
Period. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Tried it. It doesn't work. They don't get to have turmoil and chaos over here with the person they've chosen to have a child or children with, and then think that you're going to have healthy and wholesome over here. That type of chaos bleeds into every fiber of your life. Why? Because children are forever and ever. Amen. So we're done. We want to thank everybody. Please like, subscribe, and share, comment. Make sure that you're following us also on Instagram. Set your notifications so that when we go live or put any of our clips up, you can see them. This really helps to get the algorithm going, because I want as many people as possible to hear us changing the conversation around Black relationship. Those are my last words. Any last words from you, Twins?
Ditto to everything you just said. That's it. Let's grow the channel.
Well, thank you, everybody, and good night.